Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch kind of a film that's hard to find. It's called Song of the South, Disney. Let's check it out. Out of the humble cabin, out of the singing heart of the Old South have come the tales of Uncle Remus.
There's other ways of learning about the behind feet of a mule than getting kicked by.
Stand out here, young man, and let me have a look at you. You favor your grandfather more every time I see you. Tell me.
That's little Johnny.
This is my grandson, Johnny, and he's the apple of my eye. Now you take...
Johnny's parents are kind of splitting up, though.
Stay, John. It wouldn't be fair to Mama. She has enough responsibility. I'm not going to saddle her with ours.
He's going to Atlanta.
And with that, he grabbed Brer Rabbit by the tail and made for to dash him and kill him right.
Uncle Remus telling a story.
Just then, Brer Rabbit's tail snapped off real short, and he took his. Everything was mighty satisfaction. The critters, they was closer to the folks, and the folks, they was closer to the critter. And if you'll excuse me for saying so.
Your sunshine heading my way. Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, zip-a-dee-ay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder.
What called my name home? Hello, Uncle Remus.
Appears to me that you's in a powerful bad mood to go to the party.
I ain't going to no party, because I ain't going to be here.
Brer Rabbit meet Brer Bear.
Zip-a-dee-ay, zip-da-da-da-da. Wonderful day. Thank you, Brer Rabbit.
That's all right. So long,
I'll never forget it.
Goodbye.
I just don't know how to thank you.
There's Brer Fox.
He was with me.
Yes, she told me, but it's so long past Johnny's bedtime.
To be sure, Miss Sally. I was telling him a tale about Brer Rabbit, and I plumb forgot the time.
Well, I don't mind you telling.
Outside their plantation is a big bull. That's what you call foreshadowing. They meet the bullies of the neighborhood.
Where'd you get them funny-looking clothes? Yeah. Look at that lace collar. Look, Joe. What's your name, little girl?
Okay?
Of course he is. Ginny gave it. Turn to give. What's to hers? That dog's on it. You're going to take him. You're not going to
The
take
bully's sister Jenny gave him the dog.
If I hears one more, I surely don't. How do you do?
Hi, how are you?
How you come on?
Pretty good. Sure as you're born.
The creation of the infamous Tar Baby.
Just pop right for the head. That big old rabbit won't get away this time. No, sir. Gonna catch him sure. I'll catch him sure.
That's what you said the last time before.
Brer Rabbit wait for the tar baby to say, "Fine, how are you?" But the tar baby, he don't say nothing. And Brer Fox, he lay low. So, Brer Rabbit tried again. Pulling, he heave and he haul. He kicking, he squealing, and he blubbering, he bawl. But the more he thrash around, the worse off he get. Till he's so stuck up, he can scarcely move his eyeballs. But please don't fling me in that fried pan. Now, again, you keep out there, say none of your business. Leave out hanging. That's it. I'll hang him. Hang him by the neck till he's dead.
Got our dog and we want it back.
Your dog? You don't mean that little puppy?
Yes, and Johnny took it down to old Remus so she wouldn't know.
Is that?
She tells Uncle Remus that he can't tell any more stories to Johnny.
Well, what else could I have done, Mama? I can't just overlook it. He has to learn to mind.
That's very true, but without Uncle Remus and his stories, the child would be utterly desolate.
He's back at the famous.
The dog was brought back.
That's why it belongs to you, Nosy.
He's my dog. He's mine.
But I does know this. I ain't gonna be telling you no more stories.
Johnny ends up getting in a fight with those two brats.
Let go. No. Get him out. Get him out. No. Get him out.
And Uncle Remus tells another story.
I've had troubles before, but there ain't none of us ever had troubles like poor little Brer Rabbit. I remember one time he had more troubles than all three of us rolled in the water.
Is that something to laugh about? I can't help laughing, Brother Fox. I just been to my laughing place.
And every time I start thinking about my laughing place, I can't.
So he gets them to take him to his laughing place. And they're not laughing. But it's Brer Rabbit's laughing place.
You said this was a laughing place. And I ain't laughing.
Uncle Remus is in trouble now.
I sure is sorry, my son.
Now, it's my fault. I should have known you couldn't stop telling those stories. I don't like to say this, Uncle Remus, but from now on, I want you to stay away from Johnny.
So it's time for Uncle Remus to leave. Johnny finds out. He tries to stop him from going. And he goes right into the field where that bull is. With Johnny sick or hurt,
The heart
they bring in Uncle Remus to tell the story.
was a chicken to the tune. Yes, sir. Things was mighty satisfaction. Cause Brer Rabbit done come back to his laughing place.
And Johnny comes around. And Daddy comes home to stay too. A perfect ending.
And we'll have more fun than Brer Rabbit himself.
Howdy, Philip. How do you do? Oh, hello there, Brer Rabbit.
Yes, sir. This here's one of them Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah days for
Mr. Blower's on my shoulder.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Everything is satisfaction.
Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah.
Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's really true. It's action. Everything is satisfaction.
All right, let's talk about Song of the South. It's the infamous movie put out by Disney back in 1946. Features Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. What we have here is a story that takes place in post-Civil War Georgia, probably the 1880s maybe. And there's a guy named Uncle Remus who's an older black man who kind of tells stories about Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox and Brer Bear to all the kids around there. Black kids, white kids, and there's this kid named Johnny, I think his name was, played by Bobby Driscoll. His parents kind of split up, which seems unusual for the times. Dad goes off to Atlanta on business. Mom stays at home on the plantation. Again, I don't want to give this impression that there's slavery going on, because there are a lot of black people who are working around and doing other things, but they're not slaves. Again, this is Reconstruction era. So anyway, one of the kid's mother kind of thinks Uncle Remus is meddling a little bit into their lives. So eventually at one point she decides, you can't tell him any more stories, blah, blah, blah. So Uncle Remus gets upset and he decides he's going to leave. So as he's leaving, Johnny finds out that Uncle Remus is gone, and he sees him leaving by a little coach. So he decides to cut across this field to catch up to him, stop him from going. And then there's a bull in this field, and the bull gores him. And next thing you know, Johnny's very injured. So they take him upstairs to the bed, and he asks for Uncle Remus is brought in, and then suddenly Johnny recovers a little bit, And then the father comes home from Atlanta, and they're going to be a couple again, and I guess Uncle Remus is going to stay, and everybody's happy. That's our film. So anyway, that was a ridiculous description I just gave there. But anyway, what this film was kind of known for was a combination of both live action and Disney animation. When Uncle Remus would tell his stories about Brer Rabbit and such, they would cut away to the cartoon. At the end of the movie, actually, they were intertwined. The last scene of the movie has Brer Rabbit interacting with Uncle Remus and the kids as well, which is kind of cool. So anyway, the movie is controversial because there are some who think this is allegedly portrays black people in some negative stereotypes. I don't really agree with that. They're not slaves. I don't think there's anything inaccurate about the way they were talking or anything like that, and they weren't portrayed as fools or anything like that or silly. I guess the only really bad thing is that there's a character called the Tar Baby, which is a racial term, a bad racial term, but it's a cartoon character called the Tar Baby. I guess the bad choice of words, right? So, but it was literally a baby made out of tar. It wasn't a reference to a black person. So anyway, I guess I can kind of understand why the controversy exists, but I think this movie should get released. This is obviously not an official DVD release, because there is no official DVD release. This movie was released on VHS and on PAL form in the UK. I actually have 2 copies of that. It was also released on Laserdisc, I think in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. So there are copies floating around. I actually picked this up. I actually have a Blu-ray copy of this as well. But it's a great film. I think James Baskett won an Academy Award, or a Special Academy Award, for his portrayal as Uncle Remus. It really is a wonderful film, great soundtrack, and I hope this sees the light of day someday, because I definitely want to buy the Blu-ray someday. So anyway, check it out, Song of the South. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. It's a good movie. Leave some comments down below. Watch it.